What is it about? Is he get cancelled again for like the millionth time? Yippee! Has been cancelled! Yay! Alright, let's do it. What's this? Привет! Здрасте! Hello. Okay. Has been cancelled, oh boy.
For the past about 6 months or so, I have had to endure a relentless amount of personal attacks, lies, and misrepresentations that are intentionally disingenuous in order to align me with beliefs that I've actively spoken out against.
Yeah.
This is another instance of people trying to paint me as a Nazi. Now, this is a very, very, in my opinion, an extreme accusation to make. This is a crazy accusation to make. So
people don't even know what the meaning of the word Nazi is anymore, man.
Anyway, I'll read the first post
cringe.
here, and this is Asmon asserts that Nazis burned down the Magnus Hirschfeld Institute of Sexology in 1933, not because it was a safe space for queer people, but because it was written in Jewish, not German. That's actually not what I was talking about. This person's just actually completely wrong.
While his chat cheers the actions of Nazis, we cool with this? Dan Clancy. What?
I was talking about the book burnings. So this is what I said in the clip.
Let us remember that the Nazis burned the books that the Nazis burned books on gender sciences.
Okay.
They did do that. Like, my understanding is that they burned them not because it was gender stuff, but because it was written in Jewish and not German. Which was me misspeaking. I meant Hebrew. It was like...
So that's the gotcha? That's the gotcha? Is that what they're trying to get him on? You misspoke because it was an accident? Bro, what are we smoking, man?
A retaking of Germany for Germans. That was like the uprising of the Nazis. Right. A retaking of Germany for Germans. They also burned porn. Yeah, they burned a lot of stuff. And I wish people like this. It's disappointing that you can't have genuine conversations because people try to just like kind of, you know, handpick facts and like not talk about things in an honest way. This is the kind of stuff that people try to take out of context where like they're saying, oh, Asmon thinks that it wasn't. It's actually because I'm trying to discuss the actual real extent of it, and the true extent of it is much worse than what's being communicated.
Also for context, and this is going to be
base editor
for the rest of the video. People are mainly trying to get Asmon banned because of chat's reaction following this clip. We meticulously went back to check, and every single one of these chatters were banned, and they were banned days before this tweet was even made.
These bad actors were banned days before any of this drama happened. Now, this is a person, I actually didn't know who this was. So this is the same person who's trying to get me in trouble.
This is the guy that said, chat, listen to this. How are you not banned? I'll let the clip play. This is insane.
Twitch. Let's listen to what they had to say about everybody's favorite commentator, Destiny.
Hey, the guy who said it was on site at TwitchCon if he saw Destiny.
What if I want the satisfaction?
I mean, listen.
Yes.
All I'm saying is on site, you know.
So we have on screen two radical political activists, which is probably the most kind way that I can categorize these two individuals that are arguing between which of them is going to be able to beat up Destiny when they're at TwitchCon. And they're
such weird behavior. And to publicize it too, like, let's not get it twisted. I'm sure people want to beat up people want to beat up each other in their heads, sure, but saying it out loud on stream is wild.
Openly doing this on Twitch. The point that I'm making is that these are people who are advocating for violence on a regular basis, and this is something.
That's the gun, isn't it? That's the gun from Watanabe. What's his name? Sorry, I'm really bad with names, remembering names.
That happened again This was earlier this month. This is the same person who, as a response to a video about a CEO, posted a picture right here of the gun that was used to kill Shinzo Abe. So this is a person that not only is advocating for violence against other streamers, but they're advocating for violence against other people in general. This should not be tolerated in any capacity. If you are advocating for or promoting the use of violence against people in a non-self-defensive way, I think you should get banned. These are the people who are trying, and by the way, I wasn't even talking about burning down the Institute, I was talking about the book burning, so you didn't even listen to the clip. You're talking about something totally different. And so these are people who have been on a concerted effort to misrepresent me on a regular basis, while at the same time
I'm so unironically tired of people calling for violence. It's like we have to address some mentally ill Reddit mod or like Twitter keyboard warrior like this guy who's clearly farming Asmon like twice a week for saying someone that disagree with them should be pink misted, chat. Like, or have their address like so they can have someone pays them a visit or something. Like, bring back asylums. Asylums getting shut down in the 1970s or whatever it was has done irreversible damage to society.
And facilitating and promoting political violence. This is something that is so guaranteed 100% against the terms of service. We'll go over, of course, obviously, Hassan also had to chirp about this as well. He was not happy about it. It's a bit of a like, my understanding is that they burned them not because it was gender stuff, but because it was written in Jewish and not German.
What a I can't, bro. Hassan, get a grip on reality, man. Got him! Hi, ass was a Nazi!
He's not happy. He's not happy.
Who cares?
There is literally no reason to fucking go to school, study political science, spend.
Can I just pause right there? Yes, there's absolutely no reason to go study sociopolitical science. He should have stopped right there, and that would have been the correct sentence to form.
Years
to start streaming,
trying to understand how politics works, the importance of learning history. I'm not an elitist by any means. I think anybody can do this. This is a fucking silly ass job.
But
it is just crazy that like what is declared good enough in terms of political commentary on the right-wing side of things. That's crazy. Number one political commentator on the platform. Still
hold the phone. Is he saying Asmon is a political commentator when half the things he talks about are video games? Come on.
Hassan is really getting upset about this number one political commentator. Hassan is the number one political commentator.
Oh, he took the words right out of my mouth.
I cover some political issues. Hassan only covers political issues. I've never said that. I've never insinuated that. Now, if he's mad that the videos that
he talks about politics, like, guys, you're actually unironically gonna one guy me right now. Shut the hell up. Hassan never talks about video games on a stream, period. I would argue Hassan is the more political streamer. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. He is not the number one political commentator. Asmon definitely does. I won't deny that. Hassan only talks about politics. Only talks about politics. Hassan does games too. No, you're wrong. You're not gonna one guy me. I'm just going crazy, man. This is such a nothing burger, man. I feel like Hassan is just farming Asmon at this point. For like misspeaking because he misspoke, but political schizos don't know when to stop, bro. It's like Hassan goes, ha! Look at him! He said something stupid! I'm gonna farm this by saying he's wrong and uneducated, which is fine, whatever, it's like free country, right? Say what you want, even if it's retarded. I think that's totally your prerogative. But then the schizos in his chat tell everyone else that Asmon's chats needs to be gunned down and pink misted, and that Asmon should die for it. I can't, man. That's so fucking...
I do get more views or something. That's fine. That's okay.
It is pretty crazy that Asmongold watched that fucking Ethan Klein video, and then...
He's unhappy that I watched the content nuke video. Now, I understand why he's...
Oh, yeah. I didn't watch it, but... Yeah, sure. I guess that probably is a big reason why he's upset at him. I understand. Yeah.
Unhappy. I think that if I was him, I would also be unhappy.
His chat kept coming in here to be like, you're anti-Semitic terrorism lover. You should be banned. Why aren't you banned yet? Meanwhile,
I mean, to be fair, Hassan, you have been very positive towards people who are on the national terror list. I mean, you have been. Like, this is a fact. Like, this isn't a debatable reality.
Sure.
You interviewed a terrorist, and I defended you interviewing a terrorist. I even defended you with that. I said it's okay because I want people to be able to talk to people. But I didn't see the whole thing, and I didn't realize you glazed him that hard. You didn't have to do that.
Bro, are we about to have a Houthi rebel on stream? Yes, brother. I'm a journalist. Does he know what One Piece is?
He's been watching it since he was a kid.
No way! We love you too, man.
I love you. I love you so much.
It's crazy.
This fucking chat's going base
real?
Nazis. But hey, no, wait. That's what a lot of my naysayers wanted, though. They wanted someone.
Now, I'm not going to bring up the point when Ethan was getting attacked in Hassan's chat, and then Hassan said he couldn't control everybody saying things in his chat. And now he's mad at me for not having every single person that's banned in my chat. I just find this to be ironic. I find it to be very ironic.
Well, thank God I'm here then. First point, every singular chatter that was spamming was banned days before the tweet was made. But of course Hassan didn't go back to check and just run with the story. Second point, Hassan had this to say after Ethan begged him to moderate his chat.
Do you care that your chat is calling me racist? Do you make any attempt to modify?
I have not looked at my chat.
Moderate that at all?
I have not looked at my chat at all, but you have to...
Oh my god, I just saw someone called Ethan a Zionist, man. Isn't that, like, really... That was so fucking... I don't like Ethan for my own reasons, sure. Like, I think he's a dickhead, and I used to like his content when it was just about being a comedian. But I think that's just so mean-spirited and horrible. Just, like, popping the fuck off like that. If you're gonna have someone that has opposing views on your stream, you shouldn't, like, have chat shitting on them the whole time. Even if you think like that, you shouldn't do that.
I opened it, but don't you have moderators? Do you care at all about what your audience says about me?
There's 32,000 people in here right now. I can't stop people from viewing you a certain way.
One can only assume what chat might have been spamming when Twitch literally had to change the rules around the use of the word Zionist after it was paired with every derogatory term imaginable.
Ooh. Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
This time he had most of the chat covered by Ethan's cam. Let's check other times.
Every time a streamer's chat gets brought up, it's always such a losing take. There's schizos of all shapes and sizes and political orientations in every single person's chat. Getting into whose chat is worse is such a waste of time. And you open yourself up to the exact scenario. Like, it goes both ways. It comes off as tone deaf. Yeah, that's the word. Like, brother, your shit stinks too, man. Your poo-poo smells bad too. It sucks. Of course you can't control your chat, but you can at least try, no? I just don't understand how you can attack literally anyone's chat as a political streamer. Your chat by default as a political streamer of any sort will be toxic. It's just how it is, but at least make a concerted effort to, like, try and pretend to ban people, I think. Like, Hassan doesn't even pretend. He's like, I just don't look at it. I can't look at it.
Letter from a Columbia Jewish student denouncing harassment by other campus students and receiving no support.
I wonder why we recoiled when people screamed resist by any means, telling us that we are all inbred and that we have no culture. We shudder when
This is literally chat's immediate reaction after he said the Jewish students were being called inbreds.
On the way out, a pro-Hamas mob started chasing us, calling us in the middle of campus, calling us inbred, that we have no culture. One of them grabbed my friend's Israeli flag in the middle of campus, carried it to a mob by the gate that were communicating with the angry mobs.
Now you're probably thinking, but editor, surely Hassan banned all of these chatters, who coincidentally are all subs as well. Well, let's check,
That's
shall
a lot
we?
of subs.
All right, first sub on top. Jedhug. Uh-oh. They were never banned, and he's still chatting to this day. Let's do another one. The Red Star. Big sub gifter as well. Nope. Never banned for that either. What about Jordan? 3 years sub, and still going strong. What about Lund? Literally chatting while I'm making this video. Okay? I think I made my point clear.
That's actually
Back
pretty
to you,
funny.
Baldy.
And see,
Dude,
this is the
editor going
difference
ham,
between
man.
a lot of the other extremism on Twitch and the extremism that's on my platform. The difference between extremism in my chat and extremism in other people's chat is that in my chat, people actually do get banned for it. Me saying that these books were burned not because they were about gender specifically, but just because they were non-German. Why don't we look it up and why don't we find out for ourselves?
There's some
How about
accountability
we
on
watch
banning
the video
chat.
from the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum? Do we think this is maybe a good? Is this maybe a good source?
In
Yeah,
1933, in April, Nazi German students decided to organize a nationwide book burning program to eliminate
Insane.
foreign influence, to purify
We're learning
German
chat
culture
education.
as they saw it.
That's right.
So you have committees of students.
So this is exactly what I said.
Meeting with professors together, deciding what categories of books in these university libraries.
Let's get to the categories.
Would count as un-German. They didn't see themselves as suppressing.
Un-German. Let's go back and watch the original clip. And it was like a retaking of Germany for Germans. That was like, this is again, my source for this is the Holocaust Museum of the United States.
In each German university city, 34 of them in all, thousands of people gathered together at a public place in which books that had been confiscated either by the students themselves, often with the help of police,
I learned this in high school,
were
yeah, I
brought
did too.
and dumped in a pile. Student leaders exhorted their followers and the listening crowds to swear an oath by the fire to destroy and combat subversive and un-German literature.
I know this one. My parents are rather educated. They told me that they burnt books about Stalin. I know that for sure. They burnt everything pretty much. Anything that was not considered under the agenda of what they would say that is their following. Yeah, I know this one for sure.
It's like a retaking of
Other
Germany
stuff,
for
I'm not sure,
Germans.
though.
That was like the uprising of the Nazis.
Wow.
Sure. For the national treason against our soldiers in World War I, we're burning Hemingway's book.
Hemingway. What did Hemingway do? Wait,
Wow.
what?
That doesn't seem like it's about gender at all.
It is amazing to me the variety of books that.
Wait.
That was
very big.
The guy that gives me quests on STV. No, not that guy. No, it's a book, American book, isn't it? Yeah.
Big variety. See?
American
on that
author.
night and thereafter.
Ernest
Among the
Hemingway.
authors whose books were burned were Ernest Hemingway, both Mann brothers, Thomas and Heinrich.
There's the German writer, Erich Maria Remarque, who wrote the famous book All Quiet on the Western Front.
Another gender ideology book. And then also, Hassan would probably, I don't know if Hassan knows this or not. Hassan would be very upset to hear this. They also burned some of Karl Marx.
Wow.
They burned Lenin. They burned Trotsky.
They burned
They
everything.
burned a lot of communist books as well. Yeah, not Marx. Yeah, they did. They got rid of them.
That they were all considered dangerous.
Well, it's
by
the
Nazis.
opposition, yeah, obviously.
Reading about Anne Frank, they discover that they are that little girl, and that what happened to that little girl was a supreme act of injustice.
This is, I mean, like, I guess maybe we won't make the Houthi joke, but like, man, it's really hard not
Wait,
to,
what?
isn't it? It's really hard not to.
It's literally like talking to fucking Anne Frank, basically. Okay, being able to talk to Anne Frank.
So they
What?
Connect to her in a way that no political sermon or propaganda could effect. And for tyrants, control is the main thing. They don't like this unpredictability. They don't want the citizens to connect to the unknown parts of themselves, of their past, and to connect to the world.
So for a totalitarian...
That's again why people want to get me banned too. It's because I talk about things in ways that people don't approve of, and so they want to destroy my platform and get me in trouble because they don't want me to be able to have a voice. That's the reason.
The only thing that they cannot put in jail or prevent from physically leaving.
No, I understand what Hassan said. I'm just shocked that... I'm shocked. Genuinely. I'm shocked that he said that out loud.
Is your imagination. That cannot be captured.
Which is why freedom of speech is so important. And it's why I'm such a big advocate for it. Is because I know that the people who try to limit freedom of speech and they try to, put limits on it and stop people from saying certain things, when you live with your mind in a cage, that's only the beginning. It's never where it stops.
But the idea of freedom should be kept alive, even if it's between 2 people or 3 people. Talk about it.
Fucking based.
True.
Absolutely fucking based.
Think about it, live about it, and hope about it.
That's why they banned religion and church gatherings. My parents told me about that too. Yeah. Yeah, you weren't allowed to congregate for religion or church because it might have disseminated ideas that they couldn't control. Very true. Look it up.
And so anyway, basically a clip of me discussing the fact that the Nazi book burnings were not exclusive to LGBT, but they were in fact for a lot of things that were anti-German culture and things that were involved with people being Jewish, communism, etc. This is true, and my source for this is the Holocaust Museum. It's very sad, but one thing that I learned that I keep learning over and over is that when people can't win in the free marketplace of ideas, they have to resort to lies. The sad thing is that...
I just don't understand, man. I don't understand. This is such a nothing burger that Hassan said, man.
Then we'll acknowledge this and keep calling you a Nazi. Well, the thing is that all of the people that have done that, they've already completely gone hollow. There's nothing that I can do to bring them back from the psychosis that they've brought themselves into. But the best that I can do is to offer a measured and, to the best of my ability, educated perspective on why these things happen. What's being discussed.
Yeah, he needs to take his own advice, man. You can't... Not Asmon, I meant Hassan, but you can't reason a person out of a position they didn't reason themselves into. That's why I don't argue with retards on Twitter when they hate post about me. I obviously I don't get it as much as Asmon or Hassan in this case probably. I just farm them for content and I make a video out of them. Because you're not going to change their mind, and it's literally that easy. Obviously, he's farming Hassan for content back because he's being silly and stupid, but... Oh, Kitty, what the fuck? Come on. Yes, arguing with idiots is a fool's game, because you're never going to convince them. Ever.
Discussed here is how these topics and how these patterns are re-emerging in today's society. And I think that it's a very important component to this, that this was done by primarily young people. Because it's really, in a lot of cases, the contemporary wisdom nowadays is that older people are more conservative and younger people are more liberal. But I think in cases of economic depression or national depression, sometimes the opposite can become true. And this is an example of it. And this is what I've been talking about. This is what I was saying before about how, Hitler was getting popular on TikTok, etc. So, you guys see how all this is fitting together? How all this is coming together? Well, this is why it's important to talk about this history, is because in a lot of cases, I don't think history repeats itself, but it rhymes. Ooh. And so when I see certain things happening nowadays, when I talk about the resurgence of these things happening, the reason why I talk about the resurgence of these things like this happening is because I see the precursors of it because of the precursors of it last time that it happened. That's the
people are so undereducated. It's insane. You ask the average like Zoomer, maybe even like, you know, younger millennial about the history of World War II. They are so undereducated, it's insane. I was unironically not like forced, but because my parents like technically lived through it to some extent, and my grandparents as well, I was taught from an early age at least some things, and I had to look into it myself, and my brother's a big history nerd buff. I don't think other people do that. That's where the result comes from, and that's why we're kind of like repeating, and it's happening again. It's just silly. And he makes a good point. We should be able to talk about history even if it's a difficult conversation. As long as we're all completely civil about it. It's important. It's just another example of unmedicated political schizos being too low IQ to understand that they're causing more harm than good by standing up to the chuds like Asmon or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's insane. You think by the way they responded sorry. It's insane that you think that they're responding to this, that he's like a Holocaust denier and that he's like an actual unironic Nazi. It's just weird to me. I don't know.
Reality. And so when I'm discussing a topic like what was being discussed in here, trying to broaden the perspective of it, I was actually saying that this isn't good, even if you don't like any trans stuff at all. In a lot of cases, oppressive regimes will take a couple of things that are agreeable and then package them into tyranny and then hopefully sell that to the masses, and the masses buy it because of those couple of bad things. I think that maybe even off stream, Hassan should actually spend some time. It's only 4 hours. And if you look at a lot of the comments...
4 hours? That's a react? Oh my god, man. My god.
Here. Asmon is lenient on Hassan. There are a lot of people who are criticizing me because I didn't go hard enough on Hassan, and I actually tried to give him the benefit of the doubt the entire time. Because I try to maintain consistency. I
remember when Asmon tried to talk to Hassan on stream, and he actually was being really soft with him, and people gave him shit. Yeah. No, for real.
I try to maintain a lack of bias, and I try to maintain a degree of decorum to make sure that when I'm talking about something, that I do so in the most authentic and accurate way. Now, do mistakes happen? And yes, I did misspeak with saying it was in Jewish. That's very fair. But I think that that's not really the focus of what the conversation was about, and only the most dishonest person would focus on that instead of what the actual context was and the actual meaning behind it. With a lot of these people, if they're worried that they're unhappy that, you know, my content is doing well, etc., maybe they should think about why that is. And I think that one of the big reasons why that happens is because it's honest. And more important than it being honest is that it attempts to be honest. Mistakes are made, mistakes will be made, and mistakes will continue to be made. I will win. In the future, I will say somebody...
Chat, they're content farming each other. I know a lot of you don't like Hassan, and I don't think this is that serious at all. I think this is another case of them both pleasing their chats for content, and then the schizoids in their communities taking it way too far, because there's obviously going to be extreme pendulum swings in chats when there's 30,000 people talking. Of course. Like, in our chat, it might seem small. I feel like if the higher the numbers go, the more likely you're gonna to encounter, like, insane schizos. Except, you know, the ones that are extreme schizos get banned in Asmon's chat. But, you know, that's the point.
Speaking in Chinese when I actually mean Mandarin. I will. But the essence behind what I'm saying, I will endeavor to do my best that it is in fact true. I'm not trying to spread propaganda. I'm not trying to spread lies. I'm trying to be fair, accurate, authentic, and reasonable. And I think that's what a huge contingency of people are looking for in a sea of lies. Are you Team Ethan or Team Hassan? I think that I'm not Team Terrorist. Yeah.
Whoa!
I'm not Team Terrorism.
Not taking sides
that's where
like
I'm
that?
at. I think that's what's fair. And so, yeah. It's that simple.
Whoa, crazy take. I am gasping! I'm gagged. Finn's sitting harder than Alana. Oh, shut up. Yep. Chat, remember, I've always been an advocate to going back to political discourse from 50 years ago. Do you remember that clip I've showed you before in the past? Of presidents, like, talking to each other even though they're complete polar opposites on their views of, policies and stuff? Where they would compliment one another and stuff. It was really nice. Just remember that there are people that think differently than you, and that you should be civil and not schizos, and you shouldn't describe them and be mean and mean-spirited. You can disagree with each other, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, return to decorum. That's a really nice way of putting it. Again, I can't help but think back to the presidential debate 1960s. I gotta show you, like, literally 2 seconds of this. 1960 versus 2024. This is insane.
I think Mr. Nixon is an effective leader of his party. I hope he would grant me the same. The question before us is, which point of view and which party do we want to lead the United States?
Insane to think that people spoke like that during a presidential debate.
Mr. Nixon, would you like to comment on that statement?
I have no comment.
That's the biggest lie that is.
And again, they're polar opposites and they don't like each other, you know, for political theater. But he still said no comment. He didn't call him a fucking pussy or some shit. Like, they didn't like each other, sure.
6 handicap of all.
I was 8 handicap.
Yeah.
8. But I have, you know how many?
I've seen you swing. I know you swing.
They're talking about golf. What are we doing?
Like children,
President Trump, we're going to.
Let's not act like children.
I'm sorry, I just find it funny. They're fucking talking about golf when we're talking about presidential debate. Oh, it's so funny. I wish we could go back, man. It's so funny. Oh.